Whoop. Alright. Right on time. Cool. I think I'm good. Let me know. Oh, I should probably let you guys in here. There we go. Do a couple boopity boops and clicks. Boopity boop. Okay. That's there. Okay. Also making sure that title name is 12. Good. Okay. That's what I got a little worried about that. Okay. That's all looking good. Ooh, it says I'm in orange live, but I guess that's okay. Oh yeah, I gotta click. Get my preview down to 144. Can't change Streambox quality down as it goes, but that's alright. It's just mirroring it. Now we're loaded up. So welcome. Haha. Welcome to the stream. I'm me and you're you, and I had nothing else really to say. I'm I'm in a better in a better headspace than last time. I think last time my headspace was mostly trying to finish the project, and then that was like the only thing like I was gonna focus on. So like everything else and like all those comments, like that whole toaster talk, you can call it that. The toaster talk was just all just try to prove to myself that I wanted to just finish it, but it was just too hard. Welcome. Hi, Star. I already talked to you. Making sure that we're all welcome. Hey, Tamiko. How you doing? So okay. Once we kind of get into it too, before we get too off as well, I also wanted to talk about the Crusaders of the Lost Mark. I watched that yesterday. So maybe once we get a little bit into it, but let me make sure that this is all good first. So okay. Could have a little zoom in on the this panel. Let's see what he's. Oh, Tamiko? I think he just said like a comma. Not sure what that was about then. Okay, so this is all separated. I see why I didn't want it. Okay. So some of these are shapes, so I can't exactly tween them without breaking Flash. So instead, I'll probably just leave that alone. Right. Okay. I have to figure out what I was doing to catch up what I'm doing. Okay. So I think I can watch it and then maybe that'll remind me. Yeah, give me time to see what we're doing. Is it going? It wasn't playing, was it? Well, that is. Okay. Okay. So this is our little comic. We're nearly there. We're in the home stretch, hopefully. It's like a motion comic, so it's pretty cool. It's definitely different animation-wise than what I'm usually doing. So trying to do less with more, and then we got to do the last page. So that's about where we are. So let's see. Remind us also what exactly the rest of this was. Okay. Yeah, so this pony has the letter, then Derpy rushes in, and then it's just a full shot of the bill, and then this pony's upset, but Derpy's happy, and then have a little spiral and little end. Not sure what this box is. Oh, that's the envelope for the letter. Okay. Cool. Hopefully this will be a little painless. Yeah, get into it. Okay, so how we doing? Need to add some time. Whole lot of time. Plenty of time to do it. Right, okay. Oh, was it actually not? Oh, what are we up for? Oh, thanks. Yeah. call you out for spam for doing that too. Okay. What do I got? I think we're into it. Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, to talk about the Crusaders of the Lost Mark. So I watched that last night, and I don't know. I still have some mixed feelings about it. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it really, because it seemed like the direction of the story didn't mesh well, or it seemed like there was going to be like two stories that kind of just became one. I didn't really get the impression that that particular story would lead to them getting the cutie marks. So I'd have a better understanding of the story because I watched it, and I can do a little review of it. So that's what this is. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember it from like 4-ish years ago. When did it come out? You said season 5, so that would lead to 4 or 5 years ago. So, yeah, I guess the music, it felt better than I remembered. Like it seemed like it had like one song the entire time, but then it's just like, well, this one is the same song, but we sing about this feeling, you know? Kind of like a musical style, but like not really mixing up the musical style is what I'm trying to say. It's like the same feeling throughout instead of, you know, like other musicals and stuff would have like each character would have a different tone or a different instrument to them. Because only like 2 characters, you know, the CMC would kind of be always singing together. They never had a solo to really differentiate themselves too much. So it was either CMC or Diamond Tiara singing. So it didn't really have like much variety to that as well. So that's kind of why it just kind of all fell together without it seeming like it's more cohesive by having more variety in a way. This season 2 works. That's right. And I felt like the scope is always important for like musicals, because it's like, you know, I watched the Steven Universe movie, and it's like the scope for it was like definitely bigger than it needed to be. Instead of just like having the villain come in and then like, whoa, that's a problem, and then fixing it, they like upped it to like, well, if we don't solve the friendship problem literally pretty much with the villain, then the whole world will die. So it's like all organic life forms will die. So it's like, okay, like they upped it up enough that it's like a little bit more epic, compared to like the CMC one where it's like, we solved the friendship problem by having ourselves decide that instead of trying to find our own mark by doing a bunch of stuff, like doing a bunch of different activities to see what is our talent. Let's just forget about that and then decide let's just help other ponies, which in turn becomes their cutie mark. So it's like really weird like that. So, and the whole like second plot pretty much is the whole main plot, where it becomes, let's help this pony which had no interest before in politics is now running for a president of this school board, which we're not exactly sure what it is or like really what they do. It just seemed like let's put chocolate milk in the fountains kind of like wishiness. So that's also kind of a little bit weird. That's like not really explained too much of like what, like are they a treasury, or are they just president that chooses everything, like all the decisions in a school, which was never brought up before in the show. So that's what drew me off a little bit too. That's just like, none of this is really coming from anywhere, and it's just like trying to also be framed inside of all of the other canon, because like they reference like the T-Rex attack and stuff. So it's like must have been really hard to just write it out. So, of course, I'm not a writer. I'm more of an artist. So it's like, it's hard for me to like really, you know, review it. But it's like, it seems weirdly haphazardly almost put together instead of having a nice, you know, clean story. Where my idea for it would be that the CMC would have a friendship problem or something where they would decide that finding the key mark for another pony would be better, but it just seemed like it came out of nowhere that this pony that had no interest in it in a way becomes it, and then at the end they don't get their key mark for politics, because obviously why would Pip have that? So it just seemed like a little bit weird to have like a character that we sort of almost know become part of this scenario. And then the problem is, and then the CMC don't actually help a pony get the cutie mark because Pip doesn't get his cutie mark at the end. So it's just this weird, like, we did a thing, but not really, but it feels good that we tried. And then that becomes their magical moment, so, of like inspiration and stuff. So it's like, okay. So that's also what's going me a bit too. That they didn't really fulfill their mission fully. So just because I got a kid marks in this 5th anniversary. It's just happened to be like with the schedule that I'm talking about. The actual story of it is that it's not quite, you know, you want to like have something that's nice and clean of a story, but I just feel like the story itself didn't quite hit all the right marks in a way. So it doesn't quite matter that it just happened to be the anniversary if it's not put together right. So yeah, we're pretty quiet today. I'm okay. Maybe I scared everyone off with my weird rant at the end of the last time too. It's also maybe school starting. And I looked at my analytics and it seemed like everyone's, like, literally 0% of my audience is 13 or younger. I think the next bit is like 14 to 20, and I got like 20 or 30. It's mostly actually 30s and 40s that watch my stuff, so it seems weird to then blame it on school now that people aren't watching. So it's okay. Obviously this isn't super important for everyone. Yeah, I didn't really have much else to go off on, just because, as well as I thought people would come in. I'll talk about what I'm doing now, I guess. So I knew that she wanted to hold the letter, so I can have her have an extra layer on top of her hand. That looks pretty cool. Kind of shimmy this around. Let's see. She might be holding the envelope, or maybe she can toss it aside or something with the orange envelope. Do I still have that? Did I make it a actual letter panel 2? Well, I have this, so I can just put this at the right scale. Put that there. Like all times, definitely. Let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of actually getting used to having people talk now. Interrupting me. A lot of people were interrupting me last time, and I was just not in the right mindset to be bothered. So I feel like that might also detract people. Like if you say like, "Oh, don't talk to me," then next time no one will. Oh, hi, Cookie. There you are. It's okay. I was able to talk about one episode I sort of liked for 10 minutes. Okay. That's pretty good. Layout for her. Posed her out. Good. What is this? Envelope. Okay, good. Now we gotta pose. Go back out. Pose Derpy. I don't know what one this is, so we'll do 301. As I don't really have labels as really such. So just reaching for the letter. Don't be scared. So our limbs be going back, but just trying to pull back on it. Move her hat a little bit. Whoa. The parenting system doesn't always want to behave. Okay. How we doing? So, how you doing, guys? Star and Cookie and anyone else? Seems like there's 3 other people, but haven't said anything. So it's a little bit tricky to talk to you guys. Not blaming you, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know what to say now. You're good. I'm good too. Yesterday was fun. It was nice. We had a bunch of Pokemon Go stuff. Trying to get the Jirachi quest going. I did like 5 raids with the Deoxys. So I got like 5 Deoxyses. But at the end it's like I ran out of raid passes, so we were in a big group of like 5 other people, and it's like, oh, I don't have another pass, so I just kind of said like, okay, that's fine, like I accepted it. I already got like 5 of them, so it's like I don't need another one. So I just sat at the back of like a little circle of us all playing, you know, trying to defeat Deoxys, and so I'm just gonna mime it. I'm not actually be able to get in, but just like pretend that I am. So that was fun to like dread it. No one called me out or said anything. You know, no one like looked over and go, "Hey, wait a minute. Like, do you need help?" It's like, no, I'm good. So that was a big highlight. So I got the all 4 forms of Deoxys. So that was really fun. That also helped if I get 5 raids with the Jirachi quest. So now I'm just started part 6. So that's been fairly tricky now. Trying to get the excellent curveballs. Because I don't think the whole time I actually got one. I haven't got an excellent curveball yet. So definitely making it more tricky to get. I know like the Mew and Celebi one were pretty tricky, but they weren't like unreasonable. So I'm glad that they're making it more reasonable, but still tricky to do. It's not a gimme. So I like that. So okay. Student accommodation. Oh, cool, Cookie. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Shared housing. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I was in college. I just worked at the, lived at my house. Because the college was only like 15 minutes away. So it was fairly easy to just to drive there instead of having to accommodate for anything. So, okay, let's go back to Derpy. Went to a community college too. So there's a whole range of ages there. So it was really fun. Okay. I don't know if I can reach my back in this kind of chair, but thank you. What exactly was that for? Let's see. So, okay. So Derpy will rush in like that. Have it kind of ease out, maybe. See, that should be quick and then slow. That's kind of what I want. So, whoosh. Probably be out there. Whoosh. Get the mask. Get that. Whoosh. There you go. Okay. Where did this all come from? Okay. So let's see. I'm ignoring it because I'm not gonna add much more to what's going on. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. 2. Okay. Oh, there it is. I just saw myself cough. That's fun. Boop, 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 boop. What's the one that you made? So adorable. Do you have a picture of her in your feeds? From which one? Like the Discord and Fluttershy one? Which is wearing a hat? Gonna be more specific. Okay. This is the one with the bill. Damn it, Tiara, how you doing? Let's see. I'm still trying to get this done, but it's still trying to accommodate for you guys too. Yeah. Oh, the Discord one. Sure. Obviously, I have to do that a little bit later. But you just don't wanna. You want like a base pose or like some kind of pose to it with the Fluttershy, or because it could be something more unique. Otherwise, it'll just be like a JPEG of just like her just standing there. Let's get this. I can make it as make it a symbol. That's what I meant by web. Just right there. Click it. Okay. So let's get random color just to get it. Okay. So I just got to recreate this again. I could just copy it, but I think it'd be better at the right angle, and then I can angle it at the right way. So I think that'll be better. And that'll look a little nicer, hopefully. Spend more time on it. So these just has to look basically the same. So as long as it sort of looks, it's gonna be pretty wibbly as I'm doing it fairly slow. So let's see. Get these a little taller, flatter. So, okay, because these are straight up like that. Okay. Made a YouTube banner. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like to every season. It's every real world season of Dream months, because there's four seasons. I would change all my profile pictures. I'm sure you probably noticed. So on September 20th will be when I change my profile picture for like all my socials, my banner, and the end card for all my videos too. So it takes like a bit to like make each one, and then also to put it on everything. So it's a lot of effort just to make it sort of flow into the into what season it is. So I'm not saying like you gotta appreciate it, but it's like it is some effort to do all that. That's why it disappeared like that. Okay. Hello, legit. How you doing? Oh yeah, we should. You want to figure out like what kind of build this could be? Then I could have like some kind of reference to that maybe. That's how you drop it. It's shiny. The cool thing with some reflections where it's like beveled, you could have the shiny bit offset, so it'll seem like it's a little bit different. that, and like that. And then I don't know how many lines I need, so boop, and delete it. To make it seem like it's has more depth. House bill. Okay. Let's see if there's any other suggestions before we call that one final. And of course, this color will be some other, like a gray. Gray's kind of boring. There we go. Give us all fun with this bit. That this could be right. Once you're on the right layer, so boop, 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 and then you just draw it at the bottom, and then a little bit different color, just so you see it. So now it's kind of bent in. Like now we have one of the corners is bent down. Carrot's build because it's carrot top. Okay. Yeah, this will be carrot top's cutie mark at the bottom. Thank you for reminding me about that. Let's see if I have it as just cutie mark. Nope, I have Colgate's cutie mark. Did I spell out cutie mark? Nope, that's okay. So now we have to go back out and find this. It's a shape. Great. So back out. Back to here. And paste it. Like that. Well, I guess if it's gonna also be a carrot, then the cutie mark will also be that, and that looks horrible. Yeah. I think I just did it. Wow, that's not clean at all. Could spend the time to clean this up. Not sure. Just some stuff like this could be more rounded. And then we just angle it. Let's hold it a little bit lower. Angly. Problem is actually holding it in our right hand, so we can swap this to the other side. And then this will be like she's holding it, and then we just move the carrot, flip it to this side. So that makes more sense. Yeah. I have to do this kind of trick like a lot, because I would forget like which side it'll be on when you do all this. Okay. Then I wanted some text at the bottom too. Just like some, if we don't comply, then we gotta take your carrots out or something. Your carrots are ours. Okay. Whatever, some scribbles. Just to give it some legalese in there. So boop. Okay. Cool. Made the background a little darker to add some more contrast. Okay. Cool. Just a bill. Alright. Nearly there with this. Well, the obvious is actually usually what you go for. Writing a script, I find it to be, you want it to do like at least more than one pass when writing a script. It seems like you wanna always want to write something like a story, and then go back and say like, can I change it to be less cliche or add something, you know, to it. So it kind of goes into the whatever I watched the Crusaders Lost Mark thing. I think many people were there when I talked about it, like did specifics of it, but it's like, yeah, I watched it again, and I still have some mixed feelings about it, just because we had this weird meta rant of talking about it. So I don't know. I talked about it just today, that the the connections between how, you know, the flow of it in events didn't really make sense in a way. That, like, even like South Park, and people would always have like these different ways of writing scripts and be like I think it's this happens then, or like leads to this, but then, like, is it to go from like each story point, like you always have like a this happens then, but then this happens, like it has to have some kind of twist or something as it goes. And it's like, definitely has some good bits to it, but like I didn't really feel like it had the connections between story points to make it more effective. Like it wasn't, I felt like it, because it ended where not much really happened. Like the friendships and stuff were solved. Like Diamond Tiara was the main focus really of it, but also Pip, but then also the CMC get all of their turns in Spotlight. So it's like who is this episode really about is what kind of almost draws you off. It's like in the beginning, it's got to be like, oh, it's going to be a Pip episode where like we're going to learn about this important plot line of the voting, because he's got to be the president of the school, you know. And then it slowly became Diamond Tiara is now more important than Pip. And it's like, well, now we're going to solve this Diamond Tiara problem. But wait, Pip still has to be a part of it too. So let's solve that for a bit. Oh no, Diamond Tiara is now the whole focus for like the most of it. And then for the last 2 minutes, oh, it's the CMC are now the most important. And it's like, whoa, okay. Like, where did that go? You know, for that whole time, it wasn't established that the CMC were going to be, you know, like going to be important to it. Because you have these other people, you know, like Diamond Tiara, like owning like almost nearly 2/3 of the episode was devoted to her. And figured out like adding a whole new character to it. So we had to establish the mother. So just like it didn't have focus as much as I thought. As much as like the mystery cure with Twilight. It started out with Twilight going, wow, everything's beautiful. I sure hope nothing happens. And then tragedy happens. And then she solves it all the way through. And then it's like, well, Twilight, thanks for doing that thing. And then you're now a princess. So it never became, well, what about we take a time to figure out, hey, Rainbow Dash, let's solve your problem for 2/3. And then it's like, oh, well, Rarity needs help. And then it's like, you know, that sort of happened, but it didn't become the absolute focus for the whole time. It's still like Twilight leading through it the whole time. The CMC didn't really do that. So that's why I'm a little bit at ends with it. That it, as story points, you know, it didn't, to me, it didn't really work as much as I thought it could. If it needed like one more rewrite or something just to cook, and then it might be a little bit better. Of course, I'm not a story writer to know exactly what to change. I just know that it didn't seem exactly right or something. So I might be wrong. It's like this is, or it could be like this is the way to tell a story, and it's just I'm just wacky, you know. So who knows? Okay. Like zero presence afterward because she was made to be the bully. That's true too. That afterward, you totally closed the book on her personality, like her one trait. That now she's something else, and then it's like, well, now what? They have to work with this, but now she's just part of the crowd, and then now there's not anything to really make anything out of. So she already had her character development so much that now there's nothing to do. YouTube TV, cool. 2/3. You watch again. I already watched it. It felt like that though. Okay, maybe like less than 2/3. But maybe like more than a third. It feel like. Hello, Clays. Is that right? Welcome to Madness. I'm sure the chat will fill you in. Let me go back. Never heard anyone say that the episode was not about the CMC. Definitely had the minute, but I felt like they weren't the absolute focus for the entire time. So the CMC definitely filled in as the viewer to like take them through the story points, but it didn't really feel like they led the charge for the most part. They did, but it didn't. It seemed like the Pip and Diamond Tiara plot points seemed to resolve themselves at a certain point. So it didn't really seem like, well, what did the CMC actually do at the end? Because it seemed like the school ponies also felt like they already knew who to pick. Like all the school ponies already know that Diamond Tiara, you know, is bad or whatever. That they already know that she's a bully. So it's like, well, why would they ever decide to pick Diamond Tiara at the end? So like, why would the rallying and everything be important? So, and then Diamond Tiara says it at herself at the end to say like, oh man, CMC, you really opened my eyes. That my mother is bad, but then she knew that your mother was bad, and then it's like, yeah, CMC, you helped me see that in a way. So now I'm gonna go back and not tell you my plan, but I'm gonna run all the way across town to the school in a nice dramatic fashion, and then I'll tell my secret that I'm nice in a way, and then I'm just gonna give a note to the mom at the school who happened to be inside of the school for like whatever reason that wasn't established either. And then what happened? And then Diamond Tiara gave a note to her dad that she gave to her mom, and then the mom is supposed to just go all the way across town, but then it's like, well, why didn't you give the note to the dad? Why couldn't the dad was in town? You passed him, you ran past him, still scared of like what's going on, like chasing the CMC, and it's like, ah. So it's like stuff like that. It's like, what's going on with that? So that's why it's like, is it about the CMC? It's like, no. They didn't do squat. They didn't even help anything. All the characters already knew from beginning to end. Nothing really, their mindsets and personalities changed barely. So yeah. So I know I got off on that, so it doesn't matter because it's like 4 years on, but it's just like just came up recently with our other talks, so it's like I just wanted to hopefully close that it's just like weird story bits of that doesn't work. So I'm sure it fits if you think about it too hard, but just on a surface level, it's like, to me, it doesn't make sense. So okay. She had to comfort her mother. No, confront. Yes. So giving a note to her dad would not have been as effective in taking a stand. I suppose. I mean, there's different ways to look at everything, so I was like, I'm not even sure. I know that went down the wrong pipe too with the juice, water. So, let me swap this to neutral. There we go. So the whole stand bit of like, oh man, to like confront her mother, which I think that's her first appearance, is pretty heavy. Because then it's like, well, that also closes like everything else too. That it's not like in a future episode she can't have that as a confrontation a bit. So that also didn't really work either. In a way that for future episodes she wouldn't be able to use that. Writers won't be able to use that as a has a writing point now. So obviously that didn't really happen now because now they're friends, so it's like everything's okay. So I just felt like the note was just awkward in a way because everything else was like, yeah, high action musical. Hey, can you give this note to my father? Yeah, that'd be swell. I'm sure he's, you know, somewhere across town, or probably just go on while we live in Ponyville, but also are snooty and want to hang out with the Canterlot snooty people. But we could probably, you know, because we're so rich, we could go back to Canterlot, but there's no schools there, I don't think know. So let's just move to Ponyville for a bit. So that's what happened. So let's see. I feel like I already made something like this. So I'm not gonna spend too much more time on that. So boop, 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 boop. Just make a bunch of texture dots. Let's see. Okay. Discord's fun. Personally, I haven't been on it too much. I got like a sort of second job now with another contractor that I've had for a while. We just had some, ran out of stuff to do for him, so now he's got more. So it's using server to or Discord just to talk with him, make sure he's okay. So okay, I'm gonna make this now star rotate because now this is all connected. We could just do this and then say rotate clockwise. Whoosh. Make that 4 seconds maybe. Could be rotating backwards actually, counterclockwise. Probably works better. Okay. Let's go back all the way out and see if that. Is that fast? It's not too fast. Could be slower. It's pretty good. Make it like 1 second slower. Just 1 second slower. Okay. No. That's the thing with motion comics. You never really know the speed of things because it's like there's either they're voiced or not, and that gets more complicated. Like, well, obviously if you have voices, like even with the default accessory that has a lot of voices, so I have to lip sync a lot. And I have to time things out with the animatic from the storyboard, so it becomes almost a bit easier because then you can time things to the voice instead of making up timings out of nowhere. Just having feelings to things. So I already made this a symbol, so okay. It's a symbol that I want. So okay. Whew. Let's see. Who's working hard? Well, at least I'm working hard. Okay. Boop. I got like my cheeks are actually really red from like yelling about the that episode. This is really cute. So okay. I think I want her to come on. We can change this maybe. Let's see what kind of expression we can get. Obviously this. Let's have it where it's invisible, but like still have something here. But then we just tint this to 0% so it doesn't exist, and then set this to last frame and then single. So okay. It needs to be lifted up a little bit. Oops. It's lagging a bit. Weird movement with the keyboard is lagging, but just moving it with the stylus doesn't. There we go. Okay. Get quiet because I'm not having to think about this now. Okay. How we doing? I always say that just to get the conversation back going, but it sometimes works, so I use it. I know, well, not. I don't know. Because I feel like, you know, if you're on YouTube, it feels like you gotta have like this personality or something. Or like you gotta be super cutty, jump cuts. You know, like gotta say epic and insane and crazy every other sentence. I feel like that's a trope where everyone's YouTubers say that. So, I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, should I be sorry that I'm not, you know, like that? I should. I do sometimes. I think, but not the word epic. But I think I say like, okay, this is looking good. I'm liking the way this is turning out. As far as I get with that. I'm trying to think of any other words like. I'm gonna sound without, you know. There's no way around it. It does not sound cringy when you say these. And it's like, oh man, I'm so lit and everything. Oh man. I don't know. I don't really watch those channels where they are what I think of as YouTubers, where they exaggerate themselves, and then it's like clickbait where it's like it's been. I mean, there's worse ones obviously, but it's like they don't really putting way too much effort into personality than content. Watched a movie? Oh, cool. Well, I watched the CMC one. Which one was better? Yeah, I watched it in a theater. I watched it, I think, on premiere day at like 10 p.m. So I think, yeah, I was the only one in the theater. So it was very lonely. So it was a little bit weird experience. I was like, you know, you usually get the kids come in, and well, the first time, oh yeah, the time that I watched the Crush Girls movie, I watched it in a theater, and there were some kids, and when they had the sunset shimmer, like she went into like demon mode. They were like actually toddlers in there, and they got like scared, like we're like walking around. It's like they just couldn't take it at the end. That they had to like get up and like freak out. So that was pretty funny. But the movie, it was fantastic. I'm sure they put like all of their hard work really shows off in that. Down to everything. Obviously, as an animator, it's like interesting to see like their as you watch it like full time and full screen and real time. It's like not really digesting like all their small tricks that they do, you know, like, oh, on this frame is a smear frame, like appreciating that because it's like supposed to be a smear frame but they're not supposed to see it, like stuff like that, and other techniques. So the movie actually inspired me to like go back into more energize me, motivate me more to make more 3D stuff. So obviously not totally right away, but like to make more things in 3D, because I experimented some with like Maya and 3ds Max. Didn't really get into it much, but now I'm playing with Blender and it's a little bit more user friendly and a little bit simpler and lighter. So I'm liking Blender a lot. Now with the 2.8, it's like, well, gotta relearn everything, but it's all right. To read prequel comics. Yeah, I'm not into the comics. Gotta see things in motion to understand what's going on. She's gonna be disgruntled, like she's gonna be not plussed. It's not gonna be epic. Emotion is what's going on. Derpy is super epic, but Current is like, I'm not. Okay. Missed something though. comics are better than the movie? Maybe. Highlight is definitely Derpy. That was incredible. I made that as a recreated it as a vector. That's him on my DeviantArt. She has a cute little party cat too. So I love that. Let's see. This isn't exactly matched up, so I'll have to just kind of fiddle with this. Let's see. Surprised it wasn't. I guess it was a musical, but I don't know. You know how I am with musicals. Musicals definitely helped. The music was good. That's always more important, is if the music was good. I felt like the music in the CMC episode, because I kind of touched on that it wasn't quite what I expected, especially from the show. Like the same show from like We're Gonna Wrap Up is like also gets the CMC of one, and it's like, oh yeah. I was just saying. Let's see. Open up your eyes. Yeah, I mean that obviously inspired the whole look of this, these ponies. So thanks for that song. The other ones were catchy, but a nice like kids cartoony kind of musical. I don't know. I guess I kind of got spoiled by like Steven Universe and like others where like their music is more varied, and like having each character have their own instrument also really helps. Like the pony stuff seems to be like a lot of choruses, so they don't really have much single. I guess Open Up Your Eyes was single, but it that's the exception. But the pirate one and the other ones, like those are very good. That they set the mood and everything. That they follow the theme of it. So I don't know what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm not a musician to be able to talk about that. As Butch Hartman would say, I'm not in the professional business, so I can't criticize it. So there you go. Let's see. This is his letter, but I just need to put that in there. Kind of make it the same size. So I don't think I made. Show me everything. This paper symbol. So I'll do that. So I can't find it in the library unless it's a symbol. So it's just a shape. So I have to do the hand thing again. That's okay. But that's just making a oval. Don't have to draw it too much. It's like boop there. Let's see. Nearing on time, and we're nearly done. So that's good. Just want to get this going. So okay. Not sure what he's looking. Let's play with that. Okay. Says this came out of that. So Yoshi's art style. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty close to that style. And I tried to copy the choppiness of it too. It doesn't have the I noticed that the original had like these little brush textures on everything. I guess to make it more obviously not as flat as these, that they have a little some kind of illustrator or some brush that'll add texture and shadows. Instead of like having things just be a little bit darker, they'll have a little bit of shadow with texture. Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm weirdly preoccupied and not at the same time. So, oh dear. Okay. So let's see. I think all these happen at the same time. So basically do this and boop boop and this. So this needs to be stopped 1, and this needs to be loop 1 until basically the end of that. It's boop boop boop. It kind of works. That's more time. Okay. I think it's really quick because we were just just playing with the poses instead of having to deal with every anticipation and secondary movements for everything. We could add to this. I thought we kind of had that toaster thing. Guess we have a little bit of time. I'm sure I can go for an extra half hour, maybe. I'll see. To do any other spruce ups or a little bit of things I wasn't totally plussed with. Well, these is looking pretty epic. Can't say it. You guys can watch it. See what you think. Alright, Katie. No, that's okay. Forgot it's on. There's a really good jump. 7 mil. Ah, okay. Something online then. Let's see. And then page 2. Boop boop boop. And then they chase. This is pretty cool. I don't know. I think the build animation could be adjusted. I'm always like this. It's like, oh well, what if I just do this? Is that better? Next, my easing could be adjusted too. Boof. One more frame. Boof. Boof. Okay. I think that would be good. Should Carrot Top wait, okay. Should Carrot Top move in the last panel? Move, maybe. We could go, this could be like the second pose. Like she could be like looking up here. Maybe she's looking at Derpy. I don't know what this is. And then go to here. And I think it kind of works like the only other thing really going on is the spinny. And she kind of gets the expression that she's not super epic. Okay. If you're annoyed, I'm sorry. I'm annoyed too. If I need the toasters, I probably will need to go to technical Derpy Cody so I can search for that file. But okay. We can watch it again. And then see if there's anything else we see. The only other way to like export this in a way. The panel 1 move. That's right. I need to adjust this. Anytime she blinks now is broken because we did this. So, well, we'll have to make this new. Call it norm, and then just do this. If I was smarter, I would have realized that that would have broke something in page 1. So blink in that one. Make sure blinks in this one. No, okay. She blinks there, but then it goes back to normal there. It's a plane. Oof. Weird arm stretched there. Goes grass out. Oof. Okay. I think that's the only other bit. Then she doesn't blink the rest of it. I think I was worried that her wings weren't open. And 3, 1. Do not open. So let's go back here. Get the wings back out. Usually I do all these small bits. Like I would spend some time for a couple however long I need to, maybe like a couple hours or less on animation errors, just to see, going back to like seeing like every pose and everything, just make sure frame by frame sometimes, just make sure that nothing's freaking out for like one frame. But okay. Right, so the way to export this would be kind of like this as a movie, as a SWF file, and then hopefully if the canvas size doesn't work with DeviantArt, then we'll have to adjust it to see if it's the same height. Otherwise, I might have to put it into normal 1920 by 1080. Because canvas size right now is 1000 by 1500, so that will only really affect like the blue outside, so it'll just make this like a little bit wider, so it'll probably basically look like almost like this. So I can imagine without this black outline, this is what the screen will look like, and then it'll just animate normally. So does this design kind of look good? Because the only other way would be, because there's not much way to make it taller, would just by making it a little bit taller. So it's kind of focuses on it. I'm not sure. Okay. Oh hey Yosef, how you doing? Just about rounding up, wrapping up actually. Just not sure what to do. So that'll be future me's problem. So right now, you guys I think can enjoy. Let's see if this works. What it'll do. Ooh. Oh yeah, it's got the vignette. That's a guide. Got the vignette. Hopefully the RAM on this, so it'll be like this kind of. Can't get the whole thing in there. But yeah, the vignette also will need to be somehow behind the outline, or I can make the outlines thicker. And that's also help a little bit too. Okay, it looks fine. Great. So okay, then it just loops back. The other thing I was thinking about was making it interactive, where like there'd be like buttons somewhere. Like if this was widescreen again, like you might have a frontward or backward button, and then you would click the forward button, like it'll be actually interactive, where you click on it in DeviantArt, and then it would it bring you to the next page, or would it just keep going per panel? I'm not sure about that then. I don't know. I can make this bigger so it just this looks better. So when you render it. Yeah. I mean, hopefully. I was thinking like, hopefully the functionality to make it interactive probably won't go away. But if you try to publish it, then on the unsupported websites and stuff, then it won't work. So probably just making it. The sad part is I'll probably have to change all my swaps on DeviantArt to GIFs, but I kind of sort of featured it a little bit with the by just putting them on YouTube. So that also happened. Let me see. Hey Ferno. Yeah, it should be put up a panel so we can see things unfold chronology. Drugs sounds good. The only problem is that I'm not very good at coding, so thanks Joseph. I'm good at drawing, but I'm not good at coding, because the problem is I have to click this bit, and then it's just this whole line of all of this figuring out. I don't really need these bits, but it's like I have to go through here because I don't know how to code effectively. So I would need movie clips on this main stage, then say well, if you click on this, then it'll either click to go frame and stop and go to the next scene and stuff. So have to do that probably each panel. Then how many panels are there? A lot. So the time to do one interactive stuff, and because it'll probably go away in 3 months, so I don't know. It'd be fun, but that's the problem now, that there's no interactivity in 3 months with Flash now. So missed out on that, huh? Because some guy figured out how to put a virus in a website or something. Who knows what happened? I don't really know what happened. Some security thing. So everyone is now forced to not able to use it. So, ha. Show that again. Like this bit. Oh, this crazy stuff here. It's kind of hard to small. It's kind of hard to see, and it's pretty small. So at the same time. I've done this before, but it's every time that I do it, I forget. So like I usually learn it enough to be able to do it for that project, and then the next time is like I don't know what I did. So this is definitely so out of reach of like what my skill set is. So I know my skill set is hey, this color is pretty, I think it works well with this other color. Oh, but don't put it with that one, that doesn't look right, compared to the other side, which is not able to figure out of like this color is RGB hex FF0033A, and that means nothing to me. I have no opinion, you know. It's like these different sides are not able to exactly work. So I'm definitely the colors are pretty side. Then this color is white. So I can figure it out. I could probably just hard drew it, but the time to do it again is probably too much. So problem is I'll probably have to just make it non-interactive. It'll just keep going through the whole thing, and that's just how we have to do it. So probably also do the vignette, but I wasn't going to do the vignette on stream because that's probably more boring, because that's just timing it out and moving this box around. So probably won't do that. So I think we actually finished. So that's great. We're gonna watch it one more time, I guess, and then hopefully I'll figure out what to do. Figure out the how to publish it, because that's actually getting harder and harder now. It's interesting. You think with more technologies, everything would be easier to publish and export. But now it's like, well, now we lost one of them, so just happens to be the one that I'm using. So if this was a GIF, it would be pretty big, I would think. It probably won't have all the colors either. I think the color space for GIFs are pretty good, but usually you see the ones where like they're super compressed and only have like a certain amount of colors per palette. So it's like a video game where it's like only able to display a certain amount of colors. So obviously this one doesn't have millions and millions of colors like as much as a live action picture would or video. So I'll just have to keep experimenting. So if I publish something and if it doesn't look right, then give me a couple more tries while I keep figuring out and publishing it, and see which one I think looks good, really good. So okay, I'll wrap up. So that was really quick stream, maybe because I spent like half hour just talking about one episode. So thank you guys for coming out. No, it's okay that you came late. I had enough film in a way to talk about stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Next time will be something probably different. Maybe I'll go to the Discord and then ask for ideas. So on suggestions, like should we do more animation, should we do more art, should we do different types of art, should we do hopefully nothing that I probably won't be able to learn within an hour. I have some ideas of stuff. But I don't want to get it. I want to have your own say too, so I don't want to say it here. Where else you'll be like, oh, that's cool, but then be like, oh, you didn't really choose that, so it'll just be more my ideas again. So leave that up to you guys. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll go to our little toaster talk. Yeah, it's pretty sad that a couple months won't be able to see swaths. It's kind of sad. Apple. They broke everything. I never actually read up on the actual history of what happened with the security of Flash, so not able to make too much. My guesstimate is just, you know, again, that Flash can do so much that it's like, well, so much with different stuff. So like websites and animations and video games, like it has too many areas that if you just, you know, add the special code like the action script, then I would assume that that would have been the security. There's also, have you guys ever seen that little dialogue that sometimes happens where it has the square and sometimes it has the microphone symbol on it when you try to like open a special file? I don't know if that's exactly Flash, but it seems like it wants to use webcam or microphone. It has like small buttons. I don't exactly remember what it was, but I don't think that's Flash. But it seems like if somehow you went into it with, if someone was able to code it to have special permissions like that, where it could open a webcam or use your microphone and listen, then that'll definitely be bad. So, yeah. That's 5 for you, Eternal. Oh man. Good name. Toaster Talk. Yeah. Came up with that just now. So yeah. I think that's about it. I'm glad I know Tuesday the mindset at the start of this stream I said like my mindset for Tuesday wasn't the best. I try to excuse it by you know, saying like, oh, I went to the glasses doctor, eye doctor, and it's like, oh man, that means I'm still really, you know, hyper, and it's like I don't know how to calm down and just listen. So hopefully I listen to you guys a little bit more this time. I know there wasn't much chat really going on at the beginning, so that was okay. It kind of solved itself in a way. So is there anything that I left out? Like if there wasn't a question I got to or anything, we can do that in a couple minutes. Otherwise, I think we're pretty good. I'm just glad to actually finish this in a way. There's still a lot of, usually the more harder part is just getting it exported. Like I would make like a YouTube video, like my main channel stuff, and sometimes I would. The worst scenario is actually that it gets on YouTube. I watch it like before it like goes live, and I spot something, and it's like, oh no, because the process to like undo it and fix it is a lot of different programs. Like when I finished my animation, like pretty much for like the whole time I'm using Animate. Obviously I don't have sound, so I don't have to worry about that. But as soon as I finished the cartoon, then I opened like everything else. Like I opened Audition and Premiere. Anything else? I think that's it actually. But like just going back through, you know, finishing animation, Animate, and then going to Premiere and then adding the videos, video file, and adding all the sound effects. Sound effects is fun usually, but it's just like pretty much a grind to like every time there's like a whoop boo, you know, kind of emotion, because that didn't make sense non-visually. But it's like, oh, I gotta, every time that happens, like some kind of action, then it's like, oh, gotta add a sound effect. And it's like, every time you do it, sound effect is always like really loud. So like every sound effect, you gotta like go in and say like, -12, you know, decibels or whatever. So, so it's like, okay, well, this sound effect is like, probably sounds pretty good, but it might be could be negative 12 decibels or like negative 11, and it's like just fiddling with that. It's like you never get anything done at that point. It's like, oh, you're already pretty, but because you're at the point where it's like you're at the finish line, like it's so close that you just want to add like all the sound effects just really quick. But it's like a whole different type of art, you know, where like I try to add the sound. So obviously there won't be sound in this just because I'm lazy to add the sound. So that's why DeviantArts are all usually mute, because then it's like, oh, I don't want to. Because I think, yeah, one of my older DeviantArts, I had I had like a crossover sort of with like Timmy with Derpy, and then I had like Ariel from Wind Waker, and then she's like, "Hoi," as a sound effect, and I guess I made it too loud, or someone commented saying like, "Oh man, that scared me, scared the skeleton out of me," or something. I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." That might just be like your sound is too high, but it might be on my end too, and it's sounding fine on mine. So I usually keep my sound system pretty low, so I'm gonna hurt my ears. So just go back to your thing. Should proof watch everything before you upload it. Exactly. Obviously when you're editing it, you're able to watch it pretty slowly, but sometimes it's like, or like sometimes like a decision like should I go with option A or option B, and it's like, well, which one is better for some of that stuff? Like I had to like make a lens flare. I wanted to make a lens flare for like the surfing one, and it couldn't really figure out how to draw its lens flare correctly, because it's a lot more I guess more technical and like detailed than you expect. Trying to make a cartoony version doesn't really, the way that I was drawing it didn't really work out or look right. So I think that might have been the one where it's like, should I just drop it? And it's like, because it didn't really matter too much. It was just like a literal just like a little lens flare at the end, like the last second of the video. So I was like, so I might have, let's just say for this story, I watched it on YouTube before it was scheduled to upload. It's like, oh, I don't really want it. So I'd have to go back all the way to Flash, delete the symbol, export it, bring it into Premiere as a video file, export that for a couple minutes, and then do all of the YouTube analytics. Well, not really those, but like the title, the description, the tags. Is it monetized? Is it video? Has this been shown on TV before? You gotta click that. And delete your other one and make sure it's a slightly different video or different name, so YouTube doesn't like having the same video twice on your channel, which makes sense, so you don't re-upload the same video. But yeah, those kind of scenarios are the worst. So either you spend like 20 minutes fixing one thing, or you just let it go. And so I think I might have left it in, but I think I probably just edited it instead of deleting it. So that's about it. Okay. For people still watching, thank you. You can watch my other live streams, my previous ones on my channel. I got a live stream playlist. I think I updated it to have all of them, all the way up to the current one. So there you go. In case you missed any of them and wanted to watch me talk for an hour, I guess. It's kind of fun because like doing these side projects, you also get to see like the entire process of the whole thing, you know, because you can watch all the way from like literally conception of this project all the way to getting something. Something happened. It doesn't matter if it's a disaster or not. Something happened. Like we made this. So that's pretty cool that I can go back in time and watch the whole process, because like I'm showing like pretty much the whole thing. I think I cooking showed it maybe like once, I think, to just lay it out for this project. Yeah, I like laid out the that should put in all the assets and backgrounds in. I knew that was gonna take like a whole stream, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it off stream, and then come in and say like, hey, look, we got more done. So this project's been fun. This was actually a project that I didn't want to do. This whole story was based on a script that I thought of that I didn't want to do in favor of a new one. So hopefully that new one will be better, or I hope so. Otherwise, now I got this. So now we got both. It might be fun using projects and stories that weren't weren't worthy in my mind to be a full thing, that we could do it as a comic. Because it'll be, I keep saying it'd be quicker, but it's like, it actually is. Compared to my making, if I made this as a cartoon, it would have taken like 3 weeks to animate or so. Maybe like 2, because it was pretty, didn't have a really middle bit to it. So if I like expanded that, then yeah, it would have been longer. So I think so. I enjoyed myself just because I finished the thing. And I tried to make sure I'm in a good mindset. So mindset is important. Because if you come in like all grouchy, then the whole time you'll not have a good time. So just glad this is pretty much over and I don't have to, once I publish it, then I don't have to think about it. So and I have plans for other future streams in case none of your guys' great ideas come out of your minds. So I'll be looking forward to that too. So yeah, I think that's about it. That probably is. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go eat. Thanks guys for watching. I'll end it now. Okay. See ya. Goodbye.